Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some legendary doubles gameplay. I'm playing with my good friend Christo Gons. Unfortunately, not many of you probably know him. He's one of my favourite, my best Xbox buddies in the world, but he hardly ever plays anymore because he's been very busy with work. But he says next year at some point he's going to start a YouTube channel, and God, you guys should be excited. This guy is a legend. Anyway, I'm playing with Christo Gons, and I managed to pull off the 22-2, which is always awesome. Skyline is one of my favourite maps. Not just favourite DLC maps, but favourite maps in the game, hands down. I love the theme of it. I love the aesthetics. I love the layout. For doubles, it's probably one of my favourite doubles maps out there. And to be honest, just in terms of YouTube, you know, how often is it that you see Haven gameplays and, you know, Solace gameplays and just boring maps that we've seen again and again, and they start to wear on you a bit because you just know them too well. So I just wish DLC maps just came up a little bit more often in the matchmaking cycle, because it's really hard to get bored of a game once you're constantly playing different maps. And I just wish this game had had more of a population, because if it had DLC maps, regular maps, and Forge maps often coming up in rotation, it would have been near impossible for me to get bored of this game. I mean, to be honest, right now, it's near impossible for me to get bored of this game, so yeah. I had a topic that I wanted to discuss today, and that is the recent release of the Bulletin. The Bulletin basically consists of a couple of interesting factors this week. Some of them not so interesting, in my opinion. I'll start with the fact that Dominion will be the next rotational playlist we'll be seeing in 2 weeks. I believe it's on the... let me just take a look. I think it's on the 25th of November, but I could be wrong. Yeah, no, it's November 25th, and they're doing voting options similar to what they did with Ricochet and what they did with Multi-Team, where you got Multi-Team Regicide and Shotty Ricochet. This week, the voting options consist of Legendary Dominion, Shotty Sniper Dominion, and Dominion Pro. Now, if you're wondering what Dominion Pro is basically the same as Legendary Ricochet, with no AAs, no Ordnance, but there's also no Radar, which I personally am not very excited for, because I don't really like no Radar game types, especially when it's objective, and especially when the objectives are fixed, because it just means that people are going to camp hardcore, and it will remind me of Headquarters from Call of Duty, which I personally despised, but that's just me. They even say in the little description, making teamwork that much more important and camping that much more tempting. Don't say that. Don't encourage people. What are you doing, No! Don't say that. Why would they say that? That's disgusting. I don't know. I've never been a fan of pro game types very much, personally, but that's just my opinion on the matter. But either way, that's pretty cool. I'm not going to pretend that I'm massively excited for. Dominion is one of my least favourite game types. I feel like, to an extent, it was just a copy and paste from Call of Duty. And sometimes with the little weapon drops that you get from securing an objective, sometimes you just get insane stuff. And then people sit there in one of the objectives with a rocket launcher camping and then waiting for someone to walk into the room. I can't tell you the amount of times I've been sitting on longbow in the building, and I run into a building and I'm like, okay, there's no one here, okay, I'll just cap it. Start capping, and a guy has been crouching with the rocket launcher. And if there's a no radar game type, that would just be absolutely disgusting for that, in my opinion. The other piece of news is that they did the voting options for the Community Forge Ricochet maps, and they've said what's won the tournament, because obviously they did the Community Forge Ricochet contest, where the best maps were going to get picked. The maps that got picked were Inheritor, Butter, and Hikau. Now, I can honestly say I'm so excited about the maps they choose. Those are my 3 favourite maps. No over-exaggeration whatsoever. Those were awesome maps. And some of them needed a little bit of work. I think Hikau could do with a bit of tweaking here and there, but I love those maps. And I'm so psyched that they managed to pick them, and I can't wait to see them in matchmaking. The last and final change is that Team Slayer is going to be releasing on 25th of November with a reset CSR, with team-based CSR, so that it's no longer individual-based, which is definitely a good thing. And then also they're featuring people on Waypoint who do good in Team Slayer regularly. And they said something on the lines of, like, being a 50 doesn't mean you're the best. There's certain degrees of being a 50. Like, you could be a really, really high, amazing 50, and you could be a decent 50, if you know what I mean. So, that'll be all interesting to say. I can't say I'm massively excited about this week's Bulletin, but it definitely gives us something to go on at least. And I'm still super psyched that they're still pumping out content for this game. Whether it be small, whether it just be morsels, But, you know, it's just something to keep us starving Halo players on the go whilst Call of Duty's out and everyone's leaving our game for that. Screw you, Call of Duty. Anyway, I've been Modest Major. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. Peace out.